Model Man Tom, and I have got a round 2 model review for you.
And in this review, we've got two special really cool kits. On the left, it's the original series Star Trek kit with all three ships, the Romulan, Klingon, and Enterprise. Two of those are new, one of them is old. And over here, the Forbidden Planet C57D, the 12-inch 1/144 scale. I just got this in moments ago. I really want to rush the review on it and get them out to people. That's probably a full-size picture right there. Couple cool photos, a little bit of talk about the movie and the ship. Then over here, the three ships. I've had this for actually a couple weeks now. I've been meaning to shoot it, and I figure why not do both of these awesome sci-fi kits at the same time. And coming up, I've got a bunch of other car kits that are backlogging as well. And which one to do first? Let's go Cadet. And out of the box, you get pretty much everything you'd expect. 3 sprue, directions, some round 2 advertising paraphernalia, and a really tight decal sheet with just about every window that you need for these models. Nice. Single piece on the bird there. And all the windows for the Romulan, the Klingon, and of course Enterprise. On the directions, one side puts all three models together, the other side shows you where to put all the decals. Nice and easy. Well, the Enterprise is definitely a bit complex, and it gets easier from there. This is a snap kit, so you don't need glue, but probably you're going to want it. Since the Klingon's here, let's just take a look at this. This is totally new engineering. It's an interesting idea here. They've split the bulb in the Cobra head rather in top and bottom halves, and then you put the crown on top of that. Some nice lines in here. It does have indentations along there. They are not ridged. Oh yeah, the other innovation on this design is that the side of the wings here is all molded in one, so you just get the top inner core essentially. The engines look like they got some really nice details on them. It looks like some nice angles on this here. Step over to the Romulan. This one's nice and easy. 4 parts. This is definitely more favorably inclined to the actual shape of the ship rather than the old AMT 160 version of it. The wings do look a little steep to me. Maybe not. It's kind of tough to tell. You'd have to put it together. Depending on how this top goes on the bottom, there should be a ledge going all the way around it. The bottom here looks a little exaggerated, but it could very well be very correct. I thought the delta here kind of came back a little further, not quite so far up. The wings definitely have a very swept angle to them. The engines themselves, they're detailed enough. I'm sure you could do better. You could probably even scratch build a piece yourself. The dome on the front is definitely not domey, it's more of a bell shape as it heads onto the body of the nacelle. But really nice and simple and very, very small model. Well, then again, all of them are. That's why they're the Cadet series. And then finally, Enterprise. Hey, look at that. Looks like it was taken directly from the 650 molds. You got the 3 circles there which don't belong, and of course the doubled rings which don't belong. There are no grid lines, which is nice. That BC deck is definitely out of shape. All the windows are raised. Did I notice any windows on these guys? No, it was all handled by decals essentially. But those didn't really have, well, the Cobra head should have windows on it. Let's take a look here. And no, nothing scribed in or raised lines like these guys have here. That's too bad, but it should be a simple matter of sanding those off. Some decent detail in the deflector dish there. And the nacelles are decent. Again, they've got the housings around there look exactly like they were lifted from the 1650. So this could definitely use a new tool. It's nice that those are new tools. And the decals will help really sell this as well. So a little work and love on the Enterprise, and pretty much a straightforward build on the Romulan and the Klingon. Let's take a look at the C57D. Alright, in the C57 I just barely got the plastic ripped off. The box design pretty much comes from the old 172 version. No time lost there. The tray though does have this rock design, which of course goes with the bottom of it overall. And top, what have we got? Got a smoky clear sprue of clear plastic that's really, well, I suppose it's not so clear if it's smoky, is it? Up here, two nice saucer halves, it looks like. Yep, and there's the bottom. Nice. Oh, and this outer ring is scribed. That's going to make masking a breeze. Down here, one more bigger piece of sprue with all the other parts. The legs are supposed to be spring-loaded. I don't see a little baggie with springs in it yet, but maybe we'll get to that point at some point. It could even be in another piece of plastic. It could be in the shell here already. And it looks like directions and advertising stuff. So let me break all this out and we'll take a look. Wow, this is a gorgeously nice and simple kit. The two sprue of parts, which we'll take a look at in a minute. The two hull halves, a few pieces of clear, and the directions are even so simple. It's just the inside, because the outside is just advertising. One thing I was wondering about was the springs, and it turns out they use a couple pieces of flexible plastic for the springs, and those are right here. So that's an interesting idea. Looks like the wells are the first thing to go together. You put those in the lower hull, put the hulls together, and you're done. Bam, simple. This kit is just begging me to build it right now. Holy cow, this would be such a nice, simple afternoon build, it looks like. Of course, the painting itself is where it's going to be taken at. And speaking to that, the plastic, it's got some scratches in it. It's got some blemishes. It's got some sanding marks. But overall, the lines are, well, this ridge here is kind of rounded and soft, and these feel a little soft as well, but that's probably to help the landing bay covers get back into place. Nice flexible plastic. The inside probably about has as many supports as you might think it should. And over on the top half, again, it's got some scratches in it, or some sanding marks rather. There's a squiggly line right there in the center where it looks like a machine tool ran over. But nothing bad. And again, this outer ring is scribed into the surface, which is going to make taping it off real easy. And I'll bet there'll even be a vinyl mask for it at some point. They are two different tones, but I couldn't tell you specifically which ones. And even the directions here, it says simply to paint all parts bright silver. Well, that's not going to be necessarily exactly true. Over here on these parts, all these little guys go into this outer cage here. Nice. And then that cage there goes inside this guy. Top of the dome is looking nice and smooth. I've read that special attention was taken care to get the profile correct. On the 144 scale, the dome is a bit wrong and a few of the angles aren't quite right, but that's been taken care of with this one, and it is reputed to be very, very accurate. So, yep, the bottom side of these has stairs and it looks like a cargo ramp for this one, and I don't know if the third one ever really got noticed. So it looks like that's the piece right there, which is just a smooth little piece of thing right there. There are two options here for the bottom. You can do it with the landing foot extended or in flight up this way. The foldable legs, of course, also mean that you can do either one. I'm wondering how smooth that will really be for a fit. I really want to break one of these off and see, but I really shouldn't. Overall, this is one kit a lot of people have been dying for. This is a really great size. It's just about, I don't know that you could really do too much perfect. Now that I'm looking at it now, some kind of a Star Trek ship built with a saucer in the 12-inch range would be a really good size too. Not quite 1/350, definitely bigger than 650. A real nice happy medium. The C57D, a lot of nice simple parts. It looks really great. It looks like it's going to go together in an afternoon. This model is going to be all about the paint job. So, two good releases from round two. The 172 C57D Space Cruiser and the Cadet Series original Star Trek series Enterprise Romulan and Klingon ships. Thanks for watching as always. See ya.